everyone. This is Kathy Mason from MasonWorks Marketing here on Conscious Business Zone with my dear friends, Larry and Trina Cooper. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Oh, I'm so excited. These guys are like my family, and we kid each other a lot. So we'll try to act like grown-ups a little bit today, but maybe not tomorrow. all bets are off tomorrow. So I'm excited for everyone to learn about what the Coopers have done, because they this is their like fourth business that I know of. They retired from one business and started this incredible holistic alternative healing center in Broomfield, Colorado. And they both have healing backgrounds, and they both are amazing, magical people, very based on spiritual wellness in body, mind, and spirit. And both, in my experience, are some of the most creative people that I know. And but they could have just retired and gone to the beach, and instead
that was his plan.
Well, you still can. That's a good thing. But the idea is that we want to let people know what's really available now, not in the future, not when the galactics land and they give us our med beds. What's available right now that is Tesla-like energy devices that can change your life. So let's for people that don't know you guys, would you explain a little bit about this background? Because Larry's had 3 NDEs. Trina has done incredible spiritual activations with the Cherokee Elder. They both have this mystical background. What compelled you to do this business, Colorado Alternative Wellness?
That's a great question.
one answer, spirit.
Yeah.
It was really spirit that took us there. Yeah.
Yeah, we have had several businesses. Our last business, we were producing conventions and trade shows and doing seminars and entertainment venues, and we loved that work. But we got to a point where it was time to sell, and we had a great buyer that came in, and we were able to sell that company. We partnered with our daughters in that business, 2 daughters, Jillian and Jennifer. And after we sold it, we were like, what the heck are we going to do now? And Trina's insisting that we need to have an office space to go to. And I'm like, is it near the beach? And obviously it was. So we ended up getting a building and remodeling it. And our 2 daughters spent so much time helping get all that work done. And then we finished in January of this year, and we were like...
But we got to talk about how the building showed up too.
Oh, go ahead.
So we sell this company, and then we're like, okay, what are we doing next? And we didn't know. And so, and I was insistent, we need a spot to land to launch something new. And everyone kept saying, well, where's the building? Don't know. What are you launching? Don't know. It'll show up when it's time, kind of is the way we were looking at it. And without getting into tons of detail, the building did just sort of show itself, and we were able to purchase it and started renovating. And I could see pictures sort of like, we need a room this size and this size. Well, what are we going to do? Don't know. Let's just do it. Our kids hassle us, our daughters hassle us, because they were like, we just say, Mom, what do we do now? And I'd go, I don't know, go paint a wall. It was a crazy experience. But once we got it pretty much complete, that's when the mission showed up.
Well, and what happened was we had met an inventor named Ralph Sudev at a Tesla Tech conference. And we hit it off with him pretty well. And he has been inventing technology that is changing the world. We were fascinated by the opportunity and the possibility of using frequencies to change the cells in your body. And he invented these beds that have titanium surfaces. And we actually acquired one for our house and started using it ourselves. And we found that we had great response in our bodies to it. And then all of a sudden, friends were coming over, family were coming over, and people were trying it and thinking that, wow, this is amazing technology. Well, in January of this year, after we finished the remodeling the building, and we're all looking at each other and we're like, what's next? Ralph calls out of the blue and says, hey, I'm in Colorado and I brought all of my technology. And he spends every year, he comes out somewhere, usually Colorado, and heals himself for 2 to 3 months. And so he was up in the Aspen basalt area and invited us to come up. And we went up there and tried all of his technology. And frankly, we were blown away by what he had been working on. Now, he's an interesting gentleman. He actually studied with Dr. Emoto over in Japan. And his love in his whole life is to heal water and to find ways to generate frequencies and other vortexes to be able to heal water.
So his passion is to create living water all around the planet and get rid of the dead water, which he classifies as the water that it's holding all kinds of chemicals and toxins and things like that, to actually clean them out. And for us, it was fascinating because we've been doing healing work and working with sound, with bowls and flutes and sound baths and all kinds of things like that for years. And we used to joke because our business background was in the cleaning and restoration industry. And we would joke about, well, we're cleaning and restoring houses. Now we're cleaning and restoring people. And so we started doing these Evolve Expos back in about 2013.
It's 2012.
It was 2012 or 2011.
Yeah, I was there.
First one, yeah.
I was part of it from back then.
But one of the categories we usually focused on 4 or 5. It was new energy technology, but also alternative healing methods and sustainability and healthy foods and spirituality. So we had already been working on that side by side with our other businesses. So going to Tesla Tech was just one thing that we like to do, going to all these healing conferences or frequency, new energy conferences, that kind of thing. Hosting Foster Gamble here when he first launched his movie Thrive. And so this, for us, it was just like, wow, we're used to chasing spirit. Spirit drops in things all the time. I just always ask, make it really clear. I don't want to try and figure it out. So when Ralph called out of the blue, it was like, wait a minute. When somebody invites you to something that isn't even in your wheelhouse at the moment, you're not thinking about it. My way of looking at things is, wait a minute, here's a new door. We need to check this out because we don't know where this is going to take us.
Right.
So, and I'll add that we had been studying and researching, and Trina especially had been looking at alternative opportunities using not only frequencies, but nutrition and movement, exercise, and, just taking care of yourself and the body. And overall, we were looking at the wellness of the individual. What differences can we make to help people? And so that was pretty fascinating. So when Ralph called, we traveled up to Basalt, Colorado, and we spent an evening and a day with him and tried all the technology. And as I said before, we were kind of blown away. Now, Ralph is this mastermind guy, and he talked for so many hours. We were just full up. I mean, we couldn't take on any more information, but we continue those discussions with him, not just with him, but now we're finding there's so much research about using frequencies, about changing the structure, molecular structure of cells, using frequency and sound and vibration and energies, and just a whole variety of opportunities that are out there.
Well, I think that's one of the wonderful things about this whole community that we're in, that this whole Boulder County Valley area, is there's so many people that work with either sound healing or with sacred geometry work. When you mentioned Evolve Expo, the last one we did, when you looked at booth after booth after booth, every other booth had some sort of plug-in electric device, whether it was salt lamps, or it wasn't just when we did that one year when Foster Gamble came and there was a section of free energy people.
Yep.
This was every healing modalities with the beamer pads and the amethyst mats. And people have started to realize that, hey, there's something here. And then the other thing I wanted to mention is that I think that the journey is back to our roots. And I really think that the people that live closer to the earth, the original, the Aborigines, the original grandmothers, all of the natives that knew the song of the earth and the frequency of the earth, this can come through either electric means, or it can come through by walking the earth. And a lot of us are so far away from that frequency of the divine nature of this whole ecosystem, that what your devices do is it allows you to reconnect and remember, because I think it's in our cells somewhere. We just either have stuff on top of it or we forgot. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, and I was just reading a book called Healing is Voltage by Dr. Jerry Tennant. And I was just reading the chapter where he said one of the best things you can do to work on the cellular structure of your body is to take your shoes off, take your socks off, and go walk on the earth, go out in the grass and be with nature, walk up and be next to trees and plants. They hold incredible voltage. And that's what the body's crying for, obviously,
right.
To raise the voltage in our bodies.
There actually is a book called Earthing that tells you, I can't remember the author's name of it, but tells you all the different techniques to do this. But what I find fascinating about this is when you go and you look at everything as energy. So everything has a frequency and a vibration to it. And just like working with tuning forks, if you strike one, another one will begin to vibrate at a similar frequency. And this happens when you use crystal bowls. This happens when you use a drum. This happens even like clapping your hands, your body resonates to it. What I find that's so interesting is that there's certain frequencies that certain parts of the body hold for the optimum wellness. And we start losing, as we get older or we have injuries, we start losing this energetics in our body. And if we're capable of creating a frequency similar to like the tuning forks, the body will resonate with it and the body will increase the voltage. It'll increase the frequencies, which creates this optimum wellness state. The body begins to heal itself. And I truly believe that the basis of all of this, part of what I've been doing too, is studying quantum and quantum mechanics and looking at the field and what's in the field. And right now I'm studying about reincarnation and the field of consciousness. And is this field of consciousness, that's a question, is this field of consciousness the same quantum field? Does it hold all the possibilities in it? And so does it hold all the frequencies in it?
Yeah.
Do we have pattern blueprints in our body that know exactly where we're supposed to be healthy? So there's been so much study on this, and you can talk about some of the people.
Yeah, I think maybe we should talk about the technology, and then we can talk about some case studies about what we're seeing.
Wonderful, wonderful. But I do want to make sure that people understand this is our pathway from the Newtonian physics and Newtonian science into a re-emergence, a remarrying of spirituality and science. And this is part of the age of Aquarius. So what you're seeing is people that got the memo and reacted to it and are showing you just a little piece of what they can explain here without you sensing it and feeling it. And hopefully we'll figure out a way that as many people as possible can sense it and experience this, because the frequencies in this office space is like being hugged. It's like when you're a little kid and you don't feel well and you want to be hugged by your mother. That's what you get when you go to this healing center. So I want people to know that this is part of our future. It's only going to be more and more prevalent, but these guys are trailblazers for it.
Funny you should say that. Yesterday we had a woman come in, and she went into one of our rooms, and she stopped right in the middle of the room and just went, and she walked out and had to experience it a second time. And she said, it's real. The energy in here is so incredible. And it is like a hug. It is just an opportunity for you to get back to your inner presence. It's amazing.
That's right. Well, I think that we forgot, again, the earthing helps you. There's so many things, but our body is so intelligent and such an incredible orchestra of cells and processes. And if it's out of alignment, sometimes all it needs is the tweak and people shift. And so this is really our future. I really believe is that, if you like the Star Trek future idea, this is part of it. So do you want to show the slide show next?
That would be a wonderful way to.
Okay. So I'll add it, and then you can have the calm. Okay.
Thank you. And I'll just start out with a little disclaimer that we always say is we make no claims of healing. But what we're understanding more and more is that by raising the voltage in the body, the cells are changing, and the body is a great tool. And it knows that if we can raise the voltage high enough, the body will start acting like when we were younger. We need to get that voltage up high enough so that we have that opportunity.
If you remember that as children, how quick your body would heal if you cut yourself or if you broke a bone or you did something like that. And the kids heal incredibly, incredibly fast. And that's because their voltage, their energy is just sky high when they're that young. So it's pretty amazing to think about the fact that we could actually regenerate that in our bodies so that our body does find that perfect way to heal itself.
So we set up our center as a wellness center, and our goal, our mission really is to enhance overall health and well-being for humanity, and our goal is to help as many people as we possibly can at the center. We believe it's critically important, and so we dedicate ourselves to advancing well-being through alternative practices, using holistic therapy tools, and education with frequency technologies that raise the voltage in the body. And I feel like I've gone back to college because I can't read enough about this technology. There is so much information available, and it goes back thousands of years, not a couple of years. And some of the greatest information that was written, was written in the last century. So, the 1920s up until about 1990, so much was written about the opportunity for alternative wellness opportunities by raising the voltage using frequencies, pure frequency, sound, and vibration. And what we also learned over the years is that we need to do it slowly. We tried to raise it very quickly, and it didn't work. It doesn't hold. And our goal is to raise the vibration slowly so that we reach close to a maximum and then just maintain it. And when you're in that state of well-being, the body changes, and the body starts knowing that functioning better will help the body just make changes that are really beneficial.
Yeah, think about the body kind of like a battery that you can recharge. And when you have a battery that's running low and you put it back in the recharger and you charge it up with power, it holds, it actually holds that charge, and then you can keep using it. And I know one of the things that Ralph had talked to us about was the importance of the body and the bone structure and the water, the hydration in the body, that water is a conductor of electricity. And it's important that we keep ourselves rehydrated. They're also finding that water carries memory. And so when we stay rehydrated, when we stay hydrated and we have better circuits to run the power through, so it'll hold that memory for us and it will help recharge.
One of the best things we hear about our technology is it's completely non-invasive. Our goal is to do no harm, obviously, and only, help. And if someone's uncomfortable, obviously they change what they're doing immediately. And so that makes a big difference. But our goal is to enhance your well-being overall. So really, what is alternative wellness?
It's actually a way to treat your body in a way that is more natural, that's sustainable, that you're not adding a lot of chemicals to your body, but working with what it is your body needs. When we think about the fact that, we're of the earth, we are just as much a part of the earth as plants are, as the water is. We need to fuel this with higher frequency foods, higher frequency supplements, not load our bodies up with chemicals and inject our bodies with things that are not natural. The body's process is a natural process. And the more we can help it by using natural things, that's what's going to create health.
So what we do at Colorado Alternative Wellness is that we have researched, we're continuing to research, and we're finding that there are ways that holistically we can help people relax and use diverse cutting-edge treatments designed to enhance their wellness journey. So from state-of-the-art beds that we're going to talk about in a minute, to therapeutic saunas, to Cogniva, all these devices were developed to increase human voltage. And we know that by increasing the voltage in the body, we're seeing changes that are very, very strong. We know that people are increasingly wary of the side effects of, conventional drugs and medicines, and they're looking for a gentler, more sustainable way to manage their health. And so what we looked for and what we have found is alternative ways to work with the body in a more natural healing process that's more in harmony with nature. And it's been fascinating, it's been rewarding, and it's also great for ourselves as well, because we do our own treatments all the time, testing, checking, and we've seen some amazing changes just in how our bodies act as well.
Yeah, talking about testing it out, Larry, he had ruptured his Achilles last January and decided to use one of our beds to raise the frequency in his leg to help the surgery heal a lot quicker. And he was actually out of a boot more than 2 months before they said he was going to be, and they couldn't believe how quickly he healed from that experience. And now I guess I'm working on testing it, because 2 days ago I fell and I broke my arm. And so I've been in on the beds, and I don't see a specialist until next week. So I'm working on finding that healing in the bone before I actually go in there next week, get this taken care of quickly.
This photograph is one of our quantum energy wellness bedrooms. They're very soothing rooms. They're very soft, and a great opportunity just to come in and relax. So first we'll talk about the quantum energy wellness bed. Again, these beds were invented by Ralph Sudeth. The quantum energy wellness bed uses our body's natural electricity to accelerate or improve healing, plus treat pain and inflammation in the tissue itself. Now, the bed is actually constructed with a titanium surface, and titanium holds frequencies so incredibly well. And then we learned something after many months of practicing and using and making sure that we're doing the best job we can for our clients. We started using weighted blankets also. And what the weighted blankets appear to do is to hold the frequency in the body, the vessel, for a longer period of time. So what we're looking for is using far red infrared heat and microchip current and waveforms that are compatible with the human body. So the quantum energy wellness bed technology uses frequencies to potentially support the body's natural healing processes, and has shown promise in treating a variety of health conditions. So the body has at least 70% water. You know, our whole makeup is water. That's why Trina was talking about hydration and how important it is. So these beds will help accelerate the body's natural electricity for improved wellness while raising the voltage in the body. Our treatments are somewhere between 30 and 45 minutes, depending on what we're doing for the treatment.
One of the interesting things, there's a scientist, his name was Robert Becker, who, Robert Becker, right? Yeah. He did experiments with salamanders and frogs and cut off a limb of the salamander and cut off a limb of the frog. Well, the salamander grew the limb right back. And so what he was measuring was the voltage of the salamander compared to the voltage of the frog, the frequencies that the bodies were maintaining. And when he raised that frequency in the frog to match that of the salamander, the frog grew its appendage back. So that kind of tells me, that really piqued my curiosity, because that tells me that we have the ability to correct and heal if the voltage is proper. And it also tells me that there is some kind of a memory or a blueprint that the body holds that redevelops if the body's in this fantastic frequency to where it can do that. And I think he was working on, you know, can can human beings grow back limbs that they've lost? One thing that he did find out was that little children who have that high frequency can cut off the tip of their finger. And if it isn't sewn back up and stitched back up, but it's allowed to just kind of heal, bandage, that the children's fingertip will grow back if they hold a higher frequency. So that's basically what we're working with these beds.
And the next process we have is called Cogniva, and this is a very unique process. So our inventor, Ralph Sudeth, had a traumatic brain injury from a car accident and was struggling, and he developed this technology, which we're using every day now. So the Cogniva is a holistic therapy device that uses light antenna technology, ions, heat, and then we use video, glasses, and sound activation to enhance the treatment for the brain cell. So the Cogniva stimulates and regenerates cells in dormant sections of the brain. This raises the voltage of all the cellular function within the brain and nervous system and may prevent inflammation and cognitive decline from aging. So clients have reported that they've experienced improved energy, focus, and memory after extended use, plus better sleep and relaxation. So these treatments last 30 to 40 minutes.
And then improved eyesight as well?
Yeah, we're finding that some people are getting improved eyesight, especially when they have degenerative type of diseases. And so we're finding that they are getting some improvement, but it doesn't happen with one treatment. It takes somewhere in the 8 to 12 week time frame to start seeing that level of improvement. This is a very unique treatment. It's called a hydrosauna, and there aren't very many of these in the country yet. We were very fortunate to be able to acquire one of these. It's a very futuristic sauna and gets the benefit of quantum energy wellness technology through the bed. The bed is a quantum energy wellness bed made of wood. It uses the same sound technology through the bed. And then we use hydroxy vapor with that white machine that you see down in the corner. We use negative ion water in that device, and we fill the chamber with this water, hydroxy water. And it just is amazing how well you feel as it covers your skin and enters the lungs and the sinuses, and it's just an energetic opportunity to change how you feel very quickly. The hydrosauna utilizes that advanced hydroxy vapor technology, far infrared technology, and infuses with patented scalar antenna technology. And the sauna uses a custom quantum energy wellness lounge bed and biobeneficial frequency music programs to help enhance relaxation and well-being.
So much of this is infusing both sound, frequency, and vibrational frequency, like pulsing electromagnetic tones. It's kind of coming at you from different angles with all of this new improved technology that's out there.
Yeah, this device really is great for relaxation and very beneficial for cardiovascular health and inflammation in the body and muscle tension. This is one of my favorite devices that I use pretty darn often.
Oh, Quantum Pulse by Vibe Technology, the Vibe machine. Kathy loves this one. I know that. And this is another device that Ralph was involved with creating. And you can go ahead and...
Yeah, this device, the blueprints came from Tesla. And he developed this early in the 1900s. It looks like a Tesla device. And the base is a 65-pound Tesla generator. And then as you look at the blue base coming out of the brown base, there is copper coils solid up about 3/4 of the way, then that copper actually connects to 12 noble gases. And those 12 noble gases then are commingling up into the antenna on top. So let me tell you just a little more technical information. This vibe machine, we call it the quantum pulse vibe technology, works on 5 different levels by using a medium electromagnetic field. It uses high voltage pulse at a negative voltage, which is transmuted to an antenna designed to twist the magnetic field. It is then routed through noble and inert gases in a plasma state, varying in frequencies, which related to human cellular frequencies. The vibe machine brings the vibrational level of the body back to its natural state. We start out treatments at about 4 minutes. A normal treatment would be somewhere between 6 minutes to 15 minutes after that first treatment. This is a very interesting device. Dr. Royal Rife, started development of this unit back in the 1920s. And we're very fortunate to have a Rife machine that we use frequently. The Rife technology treatment works with frequency resonance of each unique cell. So the Rife machine was created in the 1920s by Royal Raymond Rife. These machines transmit specific frequency electromagnetic waves akin to radio waves through the body. These frequencies match the target cells with the intention to disrupt and neutralize disease cells while sparing and increasing the frequencies of the healthy cells. So our Rife technology can focus on one frequency or multiple frequencies, depending on what the goals are for the client.
And what's interesting with Royal Rife is that, you know, he did this so long ago, just like Robert Becker with some of his experiments. They were never brought to market to a scale that they probably could have been used, along with like some of Tesla's other devices, because, as different people would say, had to do with making money. And if you could learn how to work with the frequencies, then pharmaceutical companies wouldn't be able to sell you as much as what they do. So we really have to take a look at where modern medicine is moving nowadays and what is the impact on the human body. And what I find interesting, going back to the water and the memory in the water, is that as they charge this, and you charge your cells are storing this memory of health and healing inside of you. And it helps generate the frequency, helps move the frequencies through the body. So if we can just give a little bit of extra push, a little bit of frequency to people, then their bodies begin to heal itself.
Recently, we added an AO scan technology, and we studied this technology for months before we added it. And we worked with another company that is using quantum energy wellness beds, and they had done quite a bit of investigation work and experimentation with it. And the AO scan technology program is a unique educational tool that can help you learn about your body, its performing, how it's performing. It communicates with the body through subtle biofrequencies and electromagnetic signals to identify areas that may be out of balance. By identifying these areas that need your assistance, you can then make a proper lifestyle change to optimize your health and reach a state of harmony and balance. And so here's how we use the AO scan. We use the AO scan prior to using the quantum energy wellness beds. It is a separate item if you want to try it, if you want to use it regularly. That's something you can choose to do. We do the scan. You put a headset on the bone outside the ears. It reads the frequencies and the resonance of your voice. It then scans your body for 6 to 8 minutes. And then it gives us a report showing what may be out of balance or maybe what is in balance, including the chakras. And then it'll send us a report, but it'll also send us the frequencies that the body would like to use to change what's happening and put the body back in balance. We take those frequencies and then we run them back through the bed as the frequencies to use specifically for that treatment. We then also send you the report with the frequencies. So later that night, you can play those frequencies again while you're laying in bed. And this device has been very unique, and a lot of our clients really enjoy the opportunity to use this.
What's interesting with the AO scan is a snapshot in time right then. So it doesn't say, oh, you have this disease or that disease or something. What it shows is what is your body right now if you use this or that. What is it? Is it going to cause inflammation, or is it going to lower your energy levels and things like that? And I found it really interesting myself when I had used it one day. It came up and it said that chickpeas would lower my vibrational frequency. And I thought, now that's really funny. And then I remembered I'd just eaten a bunch of hummus. So it was basically telling me, don't eat any more hummus. Your body doesn't really need any more. You know, allow it to process what it has already. Don't overdo. So it's kind of a cool thing. And what's up here now is this ionic detox foot bath. I think people have probably heard of these, but it literally pulls the toxins through the body and out through the feet. And when you look at what's going on there,
it's pretty gross.
Well, you can actually tell if there's heavy metals, or is it detoxing the liver, or is it clearing out some medications maybe that you had taken, or there's a lot of things that'll show up when you do these ionic foot baths. What is interesting about all of this technology, as well as with earthing, is that the body responds to these negative ions. The negative ions are what helps heal. So this works again with negative ions. Some of the structures, water you have, are negative ions. The energy pulses, negative ions, and our bodies respond to that, and they heal through that. So that's what all these technologies are helping with, is creating that platform for healing.
We also recognize that when it's pulling all of this energy out of the body, it needs to be replenished. And so we work with that also to make sure people know they need to bring in.
Oh, you need to bring in electrolytes, more electrolytes into your body, because you can flood your body with water and it doesn't do any good unless you add the electrolytes. So some of those minerals, especially salt, potassium, magnesium,
and probiotics.
Yeah, those things. So we want to boost the body as well.
Fantastic. Well, Kathy, we reached the end of our slideshow, and we're in Broomfield, Colorado at 700 Burbank Street. And our website is coloradoalternativewellness.com. And, you know, we are thrilled to have an opportunity to help so many people. And it's quite a journey as we age, to stay healthy and to be vibrant and to just feel good all the time. And so that's why we opened the center, was to see how many people we could help and to feel good ourselves, because we're using the technology. It's amazing. And I know, Kathy, you've used it also.
Yes. I'm a huge fan of the Vibe machine. On my last birthday, not this birthday, but the one before, I got to do my all-time longest Vibe session of 40 minutes straight. and I'm happy to do that again. Well, I feel so good for days afterwards. That's why I love it so much. But let's give people some other ideas about the benefits of the center. You have the technology, but you also have Leary, Trina, and Jillian also as hands-on healers. Do you want to talk a little bit more about the other benefits of going to your center? Because people may only have an hour to run in and do something, then go back to work, especially if they're working in a regular office. So could you explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. As Kathy mentioned at the very beginning, I've had 3 near-death experiences and crossed over twice and came back. And the last time I was given a choice of coming back or staying, and they told me that I hadn't done what I'd come down to do, and they wouldn't tell me what it was. And I chose to come back. And then, of course, this wellness center falls into our life. And obviously, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing now. Jillian, our daughter, and myself and Trina, all are healers. I have the opportunity to see and to feel and know, and we do hands-on healing at our center. Sometimes we do it on the quantum energy wellness bed. Sometimes we do it on a massage table. But the energy that's transmitted from us until the person is immense. And it's also very, very interesting and challenging because of all the emotional energy we hold. And so that's part of the clearing. One of the things that I really work on, and Jill's been helping me work on, is clearing chakras, opening the chakras, all the energy centers in the body, and connecting them and flowing, working with Gaia, Mother Earth, and then working with the universe and stargates, and being able to get energy flowing in the body. As the body becomes fluid and the energy centers are working and moving, the frequencies open up so much quicker and so much more energy is brought into the body also. Jillian is a massage therapist by practice, but she is an amazing hands-on healer as well. And maybe Trina will talk a little bit about some things she likes to do.
Well, I'll finish up with Jill. Jill's been able to see body energies for years, even before we even knew that she could see body energies. So that's one of the reasons she got into the massage practice, because she could see things that were blocked. She could see things that were going on, but didn't quite understand what was going on in the body at the time. So she's quite good. Our other daughter, Jennifer, who's in with us, is quite intuitive. And she's got a social work degree. So she's really good with working with people when they have some of these emotional tied up issues as well. And she's with people. For me, I've been quite intuitive my whole life, and had some experiences 20 years ago of a Kundalini awakening, which Kundalini is that life force that runs through the body. But this one was like re-energized by lightning bolts, and it went on for like a week or more, but it caused me to feel energy a lot differently than what I had before that time. I've used bowls and things for healing work. I've also done, I've done a lot of study and work with emotion. And when I started this booth at our cleaning and restoration conferences, I started a health and wellness booth because I was concerned about the lifestyles that people were leading. What I realized is that when we have a physical body, we have our emotions, we have our mind, and we've got spirit. And when one of those is knocked off balance, it doesn't matter which one, it knocks off everything. So you might have, like I did, a trip and fall and end up breaking something or bruising something. Well, that impacts you on all those levels, especially if you're in pain or something like that. If you've had an emotional breakup, if you've had some kind of a mental issue, all of these things knock you off center. And when you're running, you want to run at 100%. So you really need to open up and say, okay, what's going on with me? And what do I need to work on to bring myself back in balance? And sometimes it's this whole approach, the holistic approach of saying it's not just the physical body we're trying to heal. We're dealing with the emotions. I've been trained in the journey work by Brandon Bays. and had an amazing healing experience myself of releasing an emotion and having tumors disappear. There's so many different technologies or so many different trainings that people can do, but probably for me, one of the biggest is to learn how to meditate, which I've taught for 20 years.
About time you started, yeah.
I know, I've been on a bit of a hiatus, working one-on-one with people, but understanding that getting yourself in this really open, receptive state helps you heal as well, getting rid of that stress. So those are all, that's the piece I'm working on right now, is really coming up with this holistic approach of how to deal with things and understanding how to raise the emotional vibration as well, besides the physical body.
We also use essential oils. The oils we're getting are from Egypt. They're with the same family producing these for 2,500 years. They're magnificent. And we use crystals, and we use metal and crystal bowls. And of course, other techniques that are available. We keep adding more and more to the center. Toning, yeah.
Voice toning. Yeah.
And what are the little tuning forks? We have 2 sets of those. And anyway, we're trying, and we're using, we're developing, studying and researching just as much as we can.
Well, I want to reiterate a little bit about the emotional balance, because I think so much of the body doesn't lie, and the body has so much opportunity to connect to you, but you have to hear it. And sometimes it causes you to have a day in bed if you won't listen. So, and I do believe this time period that we're in is all of our shadow work, which is these stuffed traumas that we've had for, it may have been ancestral, it could have been our ancestors, that the traumas in the DNA, like people that might have starved to death in our gene pool. You know, there's all of this trauma work that has to be done for humanity for us to go to the next era. Could you talk a little bit about that? Because I know that if people can't connect to their body, you can't really get it to work, right? Or do you have success no matter what? If they're totally in their mind, can you still get success?
I believe that sometimes the mind can get in the way. However, on a more subconscious level, I truly believe if you work with intention for the person you're working with, and you set the intention and you see them receiving it, then on this deeper level, the subconscious, maybe soul level, they'll start to get it. Now, of course, there's always free will, and they can choose one way or another, whether they want to or not. But it's not just on that physical level, it's on these deeper levels as well. And so even looking, like Kathy, you were mentioning the DNA and a cellular level like that. Well, what about what so many people have studied, maybe with karma, that there was some karma? Some of the traditions talk about you needing to reincarnate, to come back, to resolve karmas, or that were actually from a previous soul line existence. And is that a possibility too? And also, if you heal now, because if you start thinking about quantum, if you go into quantum, and if consciousness is that quantum level, and there is no space and there is no time, it means that you can do something now that'll impact the past. You can also do something now that can impact the future. And one of the questions I just read in a book not too long ago is, what if these aha moments that we have with this technology, with these new ideas, what if it's a future time where it's being used all the time? And when we open ourselves up in meditation, with intention, can we tap into it, get everything we need to start the implementation now? So there's so many possibilities when you begin to broaden out. And that's probably one of the challenges that we look at with people, is if they're open to receive, and how can we drop seeds in to get them to understand how incredibly great they are on all these different levels, get that mind out of the way and allow them to absorb what it is that they need in order to heal.
And intention is critically important to the success of healing yourself. We never make claims that we're healing anybody, but we know that people can heal themselves. And one of the first questions we ask is, do you believe you can heal yourself? Which really means, do you believe that we can open up the cells in the body and release the emotional baggage we're carrying to allow the body to heal itself? As I'm doing energetic work and as I'm doing hands-on work with people, I'm looking into the chakras. And what I'm seeing a lot of is sometimes grief and loss at the heart, going down into the solar plexus and the sacral and down into the root. People hold so much energy, and that energy may not be from yesterday. It could be from 20, 30, 100 years ago. It could be a past life you brought forward. I don't know where it came from, but what I do know is that we can work with that individual soul to release that energy. Once they fully release that energy, it's such a huge relief, and a lot of grief is escaping the body. And people have an opportunity then to get the energy to flow through the chakras, from the crown, through the third eye, through the throat, through the heart, through the solar plexus, through the sacral, and down to the root. And once that's completely flowing, then we move to the 8th chakra and open up that complete flow in and out of the body. And that's where healing really is something people can do for themselves, is releasing that energy that they've been holding on to for whatever length of time that's no longer needed. And, you know, I'll ask that question of somebody that I'm working with. Is there a reason you're holding on to this? Do you need this? And the answer is always no. And then we ask if they want to release it. And the answer is always yes, except for one guy. And he wanted to know from an engineering standpoint how that possibly could happen. And I was like, don't have time to ever get to that point. Sorry. So maybe we need to change and think about what's going through our minds. But that release of that energy is so critical for the body to just feel incredibly well and have an opportunity to experience, you know, just living at the highest peak of their life.
I love that. Thank you so much. Well, I wanted you to see Angie LaRue was here, and she said,
Hi, Angie.
hello,
Hi,
lovely, lovely people. And she said, meditation is huge. So many things can be addressed through it and by doing it regularly.
Really?
And Angie has a meditation she does every Tuesday night. So that she's been doing for years. I know we don't want to make any claims, but could you share a few, we have a couple minutes. Could you share a little bit about some results that you've seen?
Yeah, we can do that. And, you know, these are just case studies that we have. And I'm probably the greatest case study of healing my Achilles in 30 days instead of 4 or 5 months. That was pretty amazing by itself. But we have people that are coming in that have tumors, that have other illnesses with vital organs. And so we have several case studies where people have had tumors that have shrunk and reduced. Either they became operable or no surgery was needed. That's phenomenal. We've had people that have had issues with fog, brain fog, and using Cogniva in the bed. Those type of things are opening up. people that are having ringing in their ears and vibration and hearing loss, with long-term usage of some of the devices. That has gone away greatly, not completely, but very much reduced. We've had people with problems all over with vital organs, and they're finding that if they can actually relax and have an opportunity just to raise that voltage in their body using frequencies, the body is very intelligent, and you should trust the body that it knows how to heal itself. And that's the kind of successes we're seeing.
We've had some that, the ones that amaze me are people with sciatica that come in, and
that's the most prevalent one.
One session on a bed, and all of a sudden they get up and go, I'm not feeling any more pain. I've been feeling pain for 4 or 5 months, and I don't feel pain anymore.
Wow.
And so
we always encourage them to know that it could come back. Most likely it will. And you need multiple sessions to be able to change what's happening in that area. But sciatica is so prevalent with so many people that walk in the door.
Stroke victims. And one gentleman, 92, who couldn't turn his head hardly at all from side to side, had really bad problems with his knees getting around and a lot of brain fog, came one day and he was like, look, my head's turning. And he's like, and I just like got up off the bed. I feel great. And my head's clear. Came back 3 days in a row. He was only here visiting, and he came back 3 days in a row and said, find me a place in Alabama so I can keep doing this, because I haven't felt this good in years.
Yeah.
So it's amazing to watch the response. If people come in and they're open to receive what's there, and they don't have their minds in the way and saying, no, this isn't going to work. If they just come in to experience and allow their body to experience, it's incredible what's showing up with folks.
Oh, that's so great. Well, we're out of time. We're at the end here. So what would you like to let people know about this whole opportunity? I mean, I know that you have as your quest to help elevate humanity, help maybe one by one to elevate them. But would you like to share your parting thoughts?
Me? Okay.
Yeah,
well, yeah, I would.
You can go first.
You know, the opportunity is that this is completely non-invasive. There's nothing scary about the technology. And what we're finding is, as we raise the frequencies in the body, it's comforting, it's relaxing, but it's also doing something else. It's changing the water structure in your body, activating that water, raising the voltage in that water. And as it continues to raise the voltage, treatment after treatment, the body is incredibly smart and knows that it can heal itself. Yeah. And the best thing you can do is not come once and say, oh, that was great. You need to get into some pattern and routine where you do this and you try it for 3 months, and then you understand how great the opportunity is for yourself, and just go into maintenance after that. Come once a month or twice a month. But this is an opportunity with non-invasive, no chemicals, no chemistry, no drugs, to make a change in your life, which is really awesome.
Perfect.
And one of the things I want people to remember and focus on is how incredible your body is, how magical your body is, and that when you assist it through whichever means, whether it's adding frequency to it, changing your thought processes, and really focusing, you know, going inside, really looking at the emotions that you're holding, but opening up to the possibilities of being healthy, of being whole and healthy and complete. it's amazing to me how incredible people can feel, how incredible their bodies will respond when they go into that mode of, I appreciate my body. I love my body. I love me. I appreciate me. Instead of looking at all the negativities, begin to look at how incredible you are and how incredible your body is, and come at life from that perspective. I think you'll find magic in your world.
Oh, how perfect. Thank you so much. Well, I also want to recommend this work. It's fantastic. I always feel 100% plus after I'm with you guys and the equipment. And again, we're so much more powerful than we know. And this is a path back to remembering it. So, yeah, thank you guys so much. And
thank you, Kathy.
Thank you, Kathy.
Great.
She would do that too, but she can't.
I know, well, you do a one arm. Oh, you did it. Oh my God.
I did it.
Don't hurt yourself. Oh.
No, I just have to turn the one hand the other way.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much. Take care.